What's up? December 5th, Friday, day 5 of my road to my first payout. Um, yeah, let's get into it. I'm sorry for the late post. Had a lot of shit to do today, especially since my SAT's tomorrow. So I'm gonna make this quick so I can hurry up and get to bed. Wish me luck. 1500 bound. But anyways, going into the day, we are very bullish. We displaced through this break of structure on the hourly, and we were just making really nice strides to these liquidity draws. But I wanted to see manipulation first, and we had manipulation in pre-market. We had big manipulation actually. Came into this hour. I marked out this hourly. This was the only real imbalance I saw because we were pretty choppy beforehand. So we were pretty choppy the day before, but the only real imbalance was this hourly, and it was already mitigated, so it wasn't too strong of a draw, but I did suspect that if we did manipulate, we would either come into this imbalance and respect consequent encroachment, or we'd come into this hourly, which we did end up respecting consequent encroachment of this gap, so it was very nice. I saw on the 5 minute, yeah, I don't have my thing. Okay. Okay. Where did I? Okay, fire. Alright, fire. Alright, so this is what happened. We came into this gap. This is pre-market. I was looking at the market during this time, and I was like, okay, we just dumped heavily. We're probably either going to come back into this range, and if we're bearish for the day, we're going to respect this imbalance and go further and take out maybe these draws and maybe even these draws, but I didn't think that was going to happen because we were overall bullish on the weekly. If we, yeah, we were overall bullish on the weekly, and I thought we were going to keep going higher. So we come into this 1 hour range, and I thought we were going to have a nice V shape, and we ended up having a V shape. And during this time, this was passing time, so I wasn't on the charts during here, but I was here, and we had a break of structure on the 5 minute, and I was like, I might enter, but the thing was, that wouldn't have been a good trade at all because we had this imbalance here, and if we were going to be bullish today and my bias was wrong, if it was, we would have went lower, and this break of structure wasn't proving a change in a state. So I waited, and it sucked because it ended up shooting up, but my rules for profitability is don't take pre-market trades because we need to see manipulation. So it took out London session, which was one of my biggest draws, and I was kind of upset it took London session out because that was a really nice draw for me. But it ended up taking out London session, so I was like, okay, whatever. We saw big displacement through this gap on the 5 minute, and we just inversed this 15 minute. So I was gonna wait for manipulation because now we have a nice change in the state. Let's wait for manipulation. I mark out this 15 minute and or no, it was a 5 minute. Yeah, I mark out this 5 minute off this candle because respecting candlestick logic, we stayed within this wicks range. So I was like, okay, this will probably retrace, and it ended up retracing. I didn't know how far, but it did end up retracing. It going this low kind of scared me, but not really, because I was like, okay, we'll just wait to see if it respects it. And yeah, there was a 2 minute off this. We had AMD actually on the 1 minute. We had accumulation at these highs. Yep. We accumulated not for too long, but we accumulated here. And we saw this big manipulation leg. And on the 2 minute, it was the largest time frame inverse fair value gap. But I just knew with all the conviction in my heart, since we had this nice wick down to this pullback, and we had this nice V-shaped recovery, I was like, okay, this is for sure gonna hit. I don't even need to see this inverse gap get closed above. So instead of waiting for the inverse gap, I was like, okay, we mitigated this 2 minute at over here. So if we break above that mitigation and break of structure over on the 1 minute, I'll I'll be good to enter because that would be my or that would this was my continuation confluence and this would be my confirmation confluence. So, yep, I entered right here off this break of structure. I think yeah, I entered like right here. I had my stop below. I was risk off because to be honest, the one mistake I did do today, this was a really nice trade, but the one mistake I did do today that I will admit is I risked too much. I think I had six contracts, no, I'm just kidding. Six contracts or was it four? No, I had six contracts on this, which is a lot more than, which is double what I usually do. So I definitely wanted to risk a little less because if it broke beneath this gap, I would have been okay to exit. But it's also bad because it could have rebalanced and came right back up. So one thing is, don't risk as much. That was very bad. But yeah, I had my first TP. I don't know why it says break even. I took partials over here. Yeah, so I took partials here, and I ended up holding it to this draw. This, if we zoom all the way out, this is hourly. Yeah, you can see. This is an hourly draw, and I thought all of this low resistance manipulation, I mean liquidity, I thought was gonna get hit. And yeah, not all of it got hit. We ended up chopping around after we hit this TP, and we had a really big draw. We had really big drawdown. So I'm glad I took it off here. Nice little catch, and yeah, I held this trade for not too long. It was a 7.4 RR trade, so very nice, very extremely nice. Played in my favor. I was so confident about this trade in class. I'm telling you, this was the most high probability trade I thought in my mind. This just looks so obvious to me. So I'm glad it hit, and I feel like I'm getting better at reading the markets. This was a 107 point win, which is absolutely amazing for me. But yeah, great trade today. And yes, I would be screaming and celebrating more if I had the energy in me, but it's fucking 9:50. I'm getting ready for bed. So I'm kind of monotone right now. Sorry about that. But 70% win rate. We ended up hitting our 5-day profit target. Had some rough days here and there, but we ended up hitting it. Biggest day today, $1,000 P&L. Great fucking day. Very proud of myself. It says 4 trades because I had partials, but yeah, only took 1 trade today. Let's break it down, bro. This is crazy. This is my first payout. It's crazy. I had a losing day, I would say, but ended up having profit on those days because I was being unprofitable. But anyways, 500. Nah, it's not updated. My best trade 954, bro. This is crazy on a 70% win rate. Like, bro, if you told me this happened in December to my unprofitable, raging, crying self in the summer after losing multiple funded accounts, I would not fucking believe you, bro, but this is crazy. My analysis has been pretty strong so far, and I just hope it continues to stay strong. I think I don't really have a systematic strategy except I wait for manipulation. I want to see accumulation into manipulation into um some type of inverse fair value gap or break of structure, and then I would like to see manipulation into a rebalance to go higher. So yeah, that's kind of my strategy, but great fucking trades, bro. About to request my first payout, $2,568.84 this week. We fucking did it, boys. Good shit. But yeah, wish me luck on my SAT tomorrow. And yeah, I'll see you. I don't have school Monday, so maybe a nice little trade that day since I'm going to be on my regular setup. But yeah, maybe. We'll see. But fucking great week, bro. First payout. This is ridiculous. have to study the tax